Call to order at 7:01. Pledge of Allegiance. Let's stand. Oh, there it is. Way up on high. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. All right. Before we approve the agenda, I just want to touch base on another thing I learned when I was this many years old. When we call, and thanks to Rich for this, and then I went and looked it up, of course. When we call for a vote on a motion, we have to call for a vote, second, and 2/3. We have to have 2/3 to vote. That purpose of that is to keep us from cutting people off. So we're going to be doing that. But we also, as an alternative, I can say, are there any objections to calling for the vote? And if nobody objects, then we can go ahead and call the vote. Okay, so I'm going to have any board members who are virtual, just say your name and your community, and then we'll move to the agenda. Okay, Len, you want to go first?
Sure. Len Doucette, Clarendon, virtual. And you guys, your sound is terrible on that end, just so you know.
Oh, where's our sound going? Like, where's our...
Probably that computer.
Right this second, you're fine.
Oh, okay.
It drifts.
Well, is everybody online muted? Because that affects the sound. It looks like everybody is. Thank you. Okay, Sarah, you want to go?
Yes, Sarah Wicker, Wallingford.
Thank you.
Remote.
Yep. Anybody else remote? Oh, Gray, I think I see you there.
Yep, hi, I was just unmuting my microphone. We're getting our technology worked out here. I am remote, Gray Wicker, Wallingford.
Thank you. You're online as Thomas, by the way.
Well, Thomas is my first name.
Oh, okay. Didn't mean to put that out there. All right. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Okay, second? Second. Okay, anybody have any changes? I don't have any. Okay, all in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Any opposed? Okay, unanimous. Okay, public input. I see Norm, got some input for us. Katia, do you have any? No? Okay, Norm, go ahead.
Okay. You don't have access to a copy, do you?
I
can help you.
Can we do it after so we can move the meeting along? Can you just take your 3 minutes and go, and then she'll get a copy while you're doing that.
Paper that she's taking, first of all, my name's Norm Flanders, I live in Clarendon. And I have 3 things I want to cover pertaining to the Clarendon Elementary School. One is proper signage. I brought it up to a board meeting before. Unfortunately, the principal, Summer, took it upon herself to buy signs and put them at the school because the fear of kids getting run over and cars running into each other. She also bought passing signs because when somebody's dropping off a student, people are inconsiderate and they drive around them. And I only knew that because I had a fire call on Sunday and she came in and talked to me, said she hadn't seen me in a while, asked me how I was doing. And I said, what are you doing here on a Sunday? She goes, well, I have a concern. I said, okay. And she explained it to me and I said, I brought that up at a school board meeting. I said, and Dave Potter reassured me that he brought it back up at another board meeting. I said, and nothing has been done. I said, I will go to the school board meeting this coming 15 and ask why it never got done. It's for the safety of the kids. That, first of all, thank you for getting that paved. It's beautiful that you can drive in and out of there now. That's another issue I'll hit up on the topic. I have a map that shows where we need to put signage for these one-way markers and everything so that people see them and understand. Because they still drive in and out with her one-way do not enter signs. In fact, one of them was on the ground the other day. I called the school, let them know it was on the ground, either fell over or somebody put a sign. So,
You mean at the exit?
right at the end, where it was on the 7B. And I did thank her for doing that. I thanked her husband for doing it, for consideration of the kids. I said, but I will talk to the school board. It should have been addressed, should have been done, taken care of. Okay, with that said, there's a map that she's making a copy of that's for all of you to look at. Then give it to the maintenance people, whoever's got to do whatever. Try to get this taken care of. Number 2, the transitional grade between the pavement and the grass never got filled in. There is stone down there in the back parking lot. Apparently it was for that because when they paved it, they spray painted red lines about 24 inches back from the pavement, all the way down to the firehouse and up and around. Nothing got done. So whoever did that project didn't do the project properly. Okay? And I know parents are complaining because if you take a drive down there sometime and take a look, there's like a 6-inch transition in a couple spots. So, okay.
Okay.
With that being said, now, the lines that they painted to park the cars, they're crazy. They should be straight rather than at an angle. You get people that back in and they try to swing out, well, they've got to jockey around. A lot of parents have complained about it, but nobody wants to come forward. I will, I'm not scared. I mean, I have a concern with that, the way that they're painted. And they're painted with a light orange paint rather than white or a bright yellow. Okay, so I don't know who did it. They said the maintenance people in the elementary school did it. I can't confirm that, but that needs to be addressed and taken care of. Any questions for me? Hopefully you can see on that map what kind of signage that we need to put in so that it's significantly marked.
I do have a question. Have you approached the select board about this since the do not enter would be on 7B? So it would, maybe the town, all I'm thinking is the town might be able to get the signs.
Well, there's a sign there now that if you, well, when you were there, there was a sign. It's still there.
Yeah.
Just on the left as you go to drive in, it's
Right.
an old black and white sign.
Right, but I'm looking at the, the official do not enter signs that you see at the ends of roads. Okay, because they might have, I'm just thinking they might have access to signs, but we can check on that too.
Okay.
All right. Anybody else have any feedback or comments? Go ahead,
I
Matt.
mean, as a parent at Clarendon, I agree with everything he said pretty much. Kind of like the last thing about the lines, like the lines, not only are they not straight, they're like kind of like the opposite way of what you would expect in that. So I there's a lot of validity in all 3 of his points.
Okay,
And I think that we should address them.
okay. All right, so, yeah.
I will speak to Tim again. After you came the first time and you spoke about it, I did address it with our facilities person, and he said that our signage was up to code and was appropriate. So that's as far as I went, but I'm going to bring this to him again, okay?
That sign at the end, people ignore it. If you have official highway one-way signs and do not enter, that is more appropriate. And if a sheriff happens to see them, that there's a ticket.
Right, that's why I'm wondering if it's more of a municipal sign, then they can be ticketed and, but we'll follow up. I can follow up with the select board and you follow
I'll
up
follow
with
up
Tim.
with Tim.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, Norm. Okay, let's see. Okay, motion to approve the minutes from April 1st. Matt? Second? Rich?
I'll make that motion to approve the minutes.
Oh, thank you, Gray. We're good. But, can you still hear us? Let me just, yeah, we already had a motion, sorry, so I'm thinking we need to speak up, okay? We had a motion and a second, but thank you. So now we're in discussion. Does anybody have any discussion of the minutes? You know what? Should have looked because there was something in there that I saw. It was a date or something.
Was it the,
You still have your audio.
I hear you, Gray.
We hear you. Can you hear us, Gray? I'm guessing not.
when
I'm
was your
guessing you
panel?
can't hear us.
Wednesday, yesterday.
Yesterday, maybe it was that, just the, Addie's panel was
In
yesterday?
and out in the audio. Sometimes we hear you, and I hear you 5 by. Other times it's like 4 for 5.
All right, well, if you don't hear us, shout, and we'll repeat,
We
okay?
can actually hear you, we can hear you now.
Okay.
Did you get a motion for the minutes?
Yes, we have a motion and a second, and we're looking if anybody has any corrections or changes. And I think that's it, that's what it was. On the date for Addie's webinar, it was the 14th, not the 15th. So it was yesterday. And that's the one I saw too. Any other changes? No? Any objection to calling the motion? Okay, all in favor? Okay, unanimous. All right. I can sit back and relax. And Kristen, you get to go. Thank you.
All right, I'm just gonna test my technology. I just want to see if my slides will move. Okay, they will. Yay! All right. If you don't know me, I'm Kristen Simonetti. I am the Shrewsbury Mountain School principal. I have a very special connection to Shrewsbury Mountain School because when my family moved here in 2010, Adeline, who's over there, was 2 weeks old. And I was ready to dive in to be the vocal music teacher at Mill River Union High School. And we live right here in town and have an old farm. And both Adeline's older sister Elena and Adeline graduated from Shrewsbury Mountain School. And right after Addie graduated, the position opened here. And I just felt like it was coming home. There's just a very, very special community in Shrewsbury. The Shrewsbury townspeople love their kids and they love our school, and I'm so excited to share with you a little bit about our learning community. So tonight I thought we would talk a little bit about who we are, our school goal. At Shrewsbury Mountain School, we have a sustainability mission, and that at school, we always grow, and we're always progressing, so we're going to talk a little bit about our progress. So this is the amazing new playground that was just installed this past summer on our large K-6 space up here outside. This was a huge community effort. Our townspeople and alumni of Shrewsbury Mountain School raised over $100,000 to do a renovation of the Shrewsbury Mountain School playground. And many, 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 many hands, including our amazing PTO, knocked on doors and had fundraisers, and parents contributed, and past alumni and townspeople contributed. And this is a picture on the first week of school of the kids all being able to play on the that's the biggest piece of equipment outside on the big playground. We held a wood chip spreading party with our community members in July, and our neighbor, who's also a school dad right across the pond there, came up with his skid steer and helped us spread around all of our wood chips. And we're really, really proud of the fact that our town put this together for our students, and they've been loving it all school year. We do have a small pre-K playground in the back of our campus that also had a few renovations on it, but it didn't need the big renovations that the wood structures needed up on our large playground space. So this is our whole school without our pre-K. And we have a Gold Star pre-K. Look at those little turkeys. Aren't they so cute? And so our pre-K program is one classroom of 3- and 4-year-olds. Miss Melissa and her team, Miss Ella and Miss Liz, do a wonderful job teaching our pre-K students. This is just some of our Shrewsbury Mountain School teacher team. We have a lot of shared staff at Shrewsbury Mountain School because we have 70 students here. So we share our PE teacher with Wallingford Elementary, and we share our music teacher with Clarendon Elementary. And so this was a teacher appreciation lunch last May, and this is a bunch of our classroom teachers and our band teacher and a guidance counselor and things like that, a big picture of our team. So one of the things that makes Shrewsbury a really, really wonderful place to learn is that we partner in student learning with our parents and our caregivers. So we had a great representation of families. Almost every single family was able to make it to parent-teacher conferences recently. And if they weren't able to make it, teachers were able to make contact and share student progress. We have tons of Shrewsbury Mountain School family events. So our most recent one is we have a Shrewsbury townsperson. His name's DJ Brett. And he comes out and does the tunes, and we had a whole school family dance. So the parents came and the students came, and they had a wonderful time. It was a week ago Friday, and it was a really, really great time. And we do things like back to school night with a pizza potluck. We have our winter music concert. We have a family movie night in the cold winter January month, so we get to come out. The kids take all of the mats off the wall and bring their sleeping bag and popcorn, and they all lay out on the floor and watch a movie on the big screen. It's especially special since we don't have a movie theater like super in our region. Like we have to drive a bit for that. So we have lots of really great events along with our spring concert and 6th grade graduation. And our PTO is awesome. And we have about 5 meetings a year where they plan specific cultural events and support things that are happening at the school all year round. So this year, our school goal, usually our last 2 years' school goals, we're talking about like academic progress, and we wanted to get back to our roots. So the first year, this is my 4th year here at Shrewsbury Mountain School, our first year we really talked about bringing me into a shared understanding of our sustainability mission and really diving into that, and we wanted to revisit that this year. So the staff and I created this goal together back in August at our first in-service day, just together with our team. And our goal is students will be able to demonstrate collective ownership of our school campus by performing sustainability practices as well as individually contributing to the learning community as a positive student citizen. And we've made so much progress on our goal this year. So sustainability at Shrewsbury Mountain School exemplifies it is to act in a way that shows awareness of how all things are connected and to empower people to make well-considered choices for the current and future environmental, economic, and social needs of our communities. And we are so lucky because we have a sustainability teacher leader. This position was created last year, and Julia Bonifine has been teaching at Shrewsbury Mountain School for many years. Both of my children had Julia, and she's a wonderful resource because not only is she an incredible expert educator, she also has roots right here in the town of Shrewsbury, and she's involved with community organizations that come in and support our mission. So she does many, many things. Like we have a fall harvest festival that every single teacher participates in, and we have passports where students go to different stations and they can do taste testing of things that we've grown in our garden. So we have a really big harvest festival in the fall. She also coordinates classroom cooking experiences. She coordinates with 2 local farmers in our community, and they come in and they practice planting and mulching and weeding, and they have time in the garden, and she coordinates those experiences. And she actively partners with community members and organizations to build relationships between our town and our school. It's really, really a beautiful thing. We're so lucky that we have her. So this is where the learning happens. So right outside our gym here, where our new playground is, there's actually an orchard that was planted, right, and then we have a walking path on our fields. So our 3rd and 4th graders are responsible, what are those tasks, to tend the orchard. And so we have a expert on trees that comes in and talks to them several times a year, and they're able to prune and able to potentially remove some beetles that decided to land on their trees this year, and really learn about how to care for trees. And someday, we hope that they will bear fruit. They are very baby trees right now. Also in our garden, we have this really cool taste testing farm stand, and so students can harvest vegetables out of the garden, or fruit, or flowers, or whatever they're gonna harvest, and they can lay them out on trays like this, and they can taste test. And we usually have like something that we say, like, I liked it, I loved it, I think I might have to try it again, right? So it's really, really fun. The kids love it, and it's really great. And this is our compost shed that lives down next to our garden at the end of our parking lot. And we have our school board member, Stephen Abitiel, and a local farmer, Scott Kersell, come in and support our 5th and 6th graders who are responsible for composting food waste and snack waste from our classrooms and our cafeteria. And they do that 2 or 3 days a week, and they're building compost to then go back into our garden. So this is where all that happens. We also have some outdoor classroom spaces that have like different options for seating. Our littles love to like sit on those tree trunk stumps, but then we also have portable seating that is like foldable, that some of our larger, like more grown-up learners want to sit in like more of a folding chair, and they can go outside in the sunshine and do their academic curriculum in an outdoor environment. So each year, I invite a school family to come and participate in our continuous improvement plan meeting. My staff loves to be invited to that. So I always do it at the end of a school day during a staff meeting, so all of the staff members that want to participate can give their feedback. It's really worked well to specifically go to a different family each year and be like, could you make this work in your schedule and come tell us what your thoughts are about how our school is doing and what you really love about it, and how can we improve and be an even better school to serve your needs. And so this year we had the Ains family come. Kristen Ains is the mom of 2 children, Cooper grade 4 and Charlotte grade 2, and they joined us. And they gave us like really great input on what they really like about Shrewsbury and what we can continue to improve on. And we had Kim and Stephen there for our board meeting as well. And Cooper and Charlotte were so cute. So I have to just share some of the things that they said about what they love about Shrewsbury. So Cooper said he loves school lunch, and he thinks that the variety and the choices are awesome and delicious. And then Charlotte and Cooper both expressed that they have teachers that always help them when they get stuck, and teachers help them learn new things. Cooper really looks forward to the challenge of long division and math, and Charlotte really likes the winter sports program and science and social studies. I had to be like, you can tell us things that we can improve on, and kind of tease that out of them a little bit. They were like, And so Cooper said he wishes he had more time for shared reading because he likes having a partner who encourages him to read faster and stronger. And he loves being a book buddy. So our 3rd and 4th graders partner with our pre-K, and they get to be paired up with a pre-K student, and they read to those pre-K students. And it's the leadership beam of the 3rd and 4th graders and the of the 3 and 4-year-olds is just that beautiful relationship, and he just mentions that here. And his sister Charlotte wishes she had more time for math in her school day because she likes getting things right, and she likes when her hard work pays off. And then Cooper also mentioned that he loves how much music we get to have. For such a small school, we have band, we have chorus, and then we get to do music in our schools. That had just happened really recently to the meeting, so I think it was fresh in his mind. So you gotta meet Cooper and Charlotte. Here they are at the all ice skating field trip that we do. The whole school and their families go to the Spartan Arena and ice skate in December. And his mom gave me their mom gave that photo to me. All right, so at Shrewsbury, we are really focused on academic rigor. And so we, alongside our sustainability mission, really want our students to be prepared for the next level of their academic journey. And we really want our students to meet their individual academic needs. So this year, our Winter Star data from 2026 let us know that 88.6 of our students are proficient in reading, and 69.6 of our students are proficient in math. And we have seen a really steady incline of student growth over the last 3 to 4 years. And we're really, really proud of our kids. And now we need to just be even better from here. We just need to keep moving forward. So SMS students are academically focused because our school is very focused on growth of our students academically, and our teachers are committed to providing rigorous and robust learning experiences that teach the district-wide curriculums with fidelity. Our teachers have been so happy. Jody's been really, really pinnacle in this, that we have an aligned district-wide curriculum in all 4 elementary schools. And my teachers love that. And they love that they can coordinate, that all the second grade teachers can get together and talk about what's working really well and talk about strategies that maybe they could use to even create connections between gaps in understanding. So our teachers are really, really thankful that we have our 4 curriculums that we're working on together, and that they have collaboration with all the other elementary schools in our district, because I think with that united front of information, we can be more effective for students to grow. And we're also so excited that this year we were able to add math intervention. So along with our ELA interventionist, who's Miss Wyman here at Shrewsbury Mountain School, she also teaches reading. We have Miss Girardi, who we share with Clarendon Elementary, and we've seen significant growth in our students' math scores because we've been able to have those deep dives into creating connections for students with some of those skills gaps so that they're able to meet their grade level proficiency. And our students, no matter where they are and what their needs are, they receive support. So one of the things that's really special about Shrewsbury is because we're so small, our teachers believe that every single one of our 70 students are all ours. They're all our kids, and everybody has to work together so that they can be their best. And my team is really tight, and when we meet together on students for like an EST plan, I call it a hug of support. We bring our caregivers in, we bring our experts to the table, and we're really able to customize a plan to set goals so that students can achieve. And so we have students on IEPs, 504 plans, EST plans, and we have speech and language and OT and counseling. All those things happen at Shrewsbury Mountain School. So our students are really well-rounded. We have awesome student athletes here at Shrewsbury Mountain School, and many of them have really leaned into the district-wide elementary sports experience. They do like to be a little bit competitive on the recess field. Soccer is definitely the sport in Shrewsbury. I don't know what it is. Addie's also on the soccer team. She was at Shrewsbury, so I don't know what it is, but Shrewsbury's love to play soccer. And so I definitely find myself reffing those games at recess often out there. It's a good thing I know a little bit about soccer. But they love the fact that our district has unified elementary sports, and they get to meet students at their grade level from all the 4 elementaries before they're going to enter Mill River. And it's a really great like foreshadow of the program that Jody's done with our 6th grade transition. So that grant money does a huge 6th grade transition process where there's 4 or 5 field trips where all the 6th graders of all 4 elementaries get together, and they're able to make friends and build connections, and then are able to feel really comfortable when they move on to Mill River. Our students are also musicians. Band is a big thing here, along with chorus. We have 77% of our 4th through 6th graders participating in band. 10%, just so you know, because I'm the fine arts coordinator, is the national average of participation in chorus and band. And the Mill River School District has skyrocketed stats on chorus and band students. So 50% of our chorus students from 3rd through 6th grade are participating in chorus. And our students love to be leaders. So like I mentioned the book buddies before, they also love to lead learning in other areas. So we really talk about being one community and how when we know better, we can do better. And they're really great about helping each other. So they're really great leaders. And lastly, we are constantly growing. So we're in this constant state of like, what can we do better? How can we improve? How can kids continue to have a wonderful experience coming to school every day? And we really appreciate you guys and all the support that you give to make our schools really, really wonderful places. So thank you so much for listening to my presentation.
Okay, would anybody like to say anything? Rich?
Yeah.
Can I ask a question, actually? Just thinking about, looking at what's next on our agenda, we're looking at the 50th anniversary coming up and thinking about connections with alums.
Yeah.
Obviously comes from that. How much is it the PTO and how much is it your outreach that explains the community relations here? What are you doing to build the relations, and is this kind of a fluke? Is it a great group in the PTO, or is this something that is endemic in the...
So I think historically, like you mean for Shrewsbury or you mean for Mill River? Just because you mentioned the 50th.
I want to know for Shrewsbury.
Okay.
Lessons we can take to other schools.
Yeah, so I think what's really special about Shrewsbury is, I see it happening in Tinmouth and Wallingford, like there's Wallingford Day, and there's Tinmouth activities, and I know there's Clarendon, there's the Color Run, there's lots of community activities, so I think people are really doing it. One of the things that I think is different about Shrewsbury is we're very, very rural. So we don't have like a town center. We have like a community town hall, and we have some very faithful community members that really try to build community events into our town's culture. So we have a Shrewsbury Day parade in September, and then we have a Friday concert series that's like out on the lawn, bring your lawn chair, and they bring bands, and they have food trucks, or they've allowed the Shrewsbury PTO to like cook a meal and sell that meal and then put that money towards the playground. So I think that the united front between the Shrewsbury Library as a board, the Shrewsbury Community Center kind of has their own board that does things, because there's like a Shrewsbury Day committee, so between these kind of like boards that work to really invest in the community, I think there's just been this deep love of building up our children and making sure that Shrewsbury Mountain School is really connected to the town. And I think that our other towns are doing that as well. I really think that it's great. But like dancing is a big thing in Shrewsbury. We like contra dance, and we do Taco Tuesday nights, and I think there's just a lot of community events, which is really great. So I think it's one of the things that's the magic that happens up here.
If I jump into,
Yeah.
I think you do a good job also of like, we do have a monthly Times of Shrewsbury that every single person in Shrewsbury gets delivered. It's printed, and Kristen does a really good job of like sharing what's happening in the elementary school in that, so it can really like pull the whole community in. Yeah.
And Cheryl, who helps me with my submission is due on April 20th. I just got my email. She's very kind and really features pictures of the students with my writing. Like I submit pictures, and I think that makes community members, no matter how young or how old, feel connected that the students are real, as opposed to just, oh, Kristen's black and white little letter in the Shrewsbury Times. It's like, maybe they'll read it, maybe they won't. But that kiddo on the side of Okemo Mountain, like, I want to see what's happening there. And so I think that's also, like, everybody's just really positive, I think. And so the energy is great. Thanks, Rich, for that question. I hope that answered that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm excited about music happening at the 50th MRU. I know that the band is looking to march, and the chamber singers are looking to do some national anthem, and hopefully a song I've picked about singing your way home. So we'll see. Does anybody have any more thoughts for me? I'm available anytime. Email, yeah.
I just want to say, I think the garden part of the facility here is really awesome. I want to try to see how I can build something like that. I mean, we have a little bit of a sort of garden thing for the pre-K kids at Wallingford, but why not go bigger?
Yeah, please go bigger. And I definitely want to say that my teaching staff doesn't have the capacity to do it alone. It's really the community partners. So Julia is wonderful as the teacher leader, and that's been a huge, like, her addition to the team, being able to have designated time to be able to really do that has kind of amped up what we've been able to do in the last 2 years. But those community partners have been super special. So we have evening song in Shrewsbury with Alchemy Gardens. I'm sure you're probably familiar, but those helpers are also really, really great to make things move forward.
My wife and I also have a small vegetable farm in Wallingford, so it's like just exciting to see that kind of involvement from the young kids.
Yeah, one of my favorite moments of this school year is our second graders were in charge of picking flowers, and those gorgeous exotic flowers that I've never seen before were grown in our garden. And so they harvested the flowers and created bouquets for all of the staff members, and I got this hand-delivered bouquet into my office. I had to have a picture taken with my 2 second graders. And I was like, I let that sit on my table until way past it probably should have been composted, but I couldn't let it go. The flowers are so pretty. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank
Great
you,
job.
Kristen.
Hey.
Thanks, Kristen.
Thanks, Len.
So next on the agenda is the 50th anniversary funding request that was given to us last meeting. Did we get any additional? We were going to ask them, Lenny, do you know? We were going to ask them what they wanted the money for and what they were going to do?
Yeah, actually, I have all kinds of stuff here.
All right, I'm going to turn the mic over to you.
Okay. At this point, and please understand, all of this is preliminary. You might have noticed the new banner out front of the school celebrating the 50th. That just went up recently. This committee, and I use that term very loosely, is made up of anywhere from 6 to 8 people. Gil Calvin, who wrote the letter to the board, class of 82, Sean Bendig, who's a former graduate who owns the Stonehenge Indoor Golf and the Stonehenge Outdoor Golf, and his wife Ginger, Don Markey, who worked in Mill River for a long time, Tommy Leopold, who is also a graduate and is head of PEG TV, Tracy Spencer, also a graduate, who works in the front office as administrative assistant, Mary Bride, not a graduate, but she's probably been there long enough to be a graduate. and she just can't graduate, I guess, I don't know. Peter Roach, who's also a graduate, obviously band director, and myself. So that's pretty much the group, and that's kind of where this is coming from. Right, we put together a itinerary for the 5th and 6th of June. Preliminary, again, itinerary. On Friday, June 5th, and I want to share this all with you, I hope you don't mind, and then that might, I'll put in what kinds of money we're looking for and why. June 5th from 6 to 11 at the Stonehenge Indoor Golf. They're going to provide, at no cost, the building will be open. The golf simulators will be open, complimentary fountain beverages. It will be, if you want to pay your own for alcoholic beverages. And Dwayne Carlton, class of 84, will be playing from 7 to 10, so there'll be live entertainment. What we're looking for in terms of money here, as an example, would be to help bring down the cost of the food. Sean's willing to provide us with food, and if we could have some money to help pay down that cost. That's one piece. On Saturday, June 6th, and stop me anytime if anybody has any questions. There's going to be again, preliminarily talking about a scramble golf tournament at the Stonehenge Golf Course up the road from Mill River. Again, at no cost. And then starting at 3 o'clock, hopefully tours of Mill River, led by National Honor Society students and student leadership, those kinds of things from about 3 to 4. Opening ceremony would be at 4. And we're looking at, we have several speakers lined up: Mary Bride, Jack Filio, former principal, Jay Wilson, let's see, who else? Margie Condon, David Bosch, the Clarendon representative, Bear Irwin, and Mary Colvin. And then also having outdoor games, bouncy house, yearbook corner, all kinds of things. And then having a, let me see if I can find it here. There would be, there we go, ongoing food and parking lot provided by Maple Angus. And again, the money that we're looking for would help pay for the food from Maple Angus. And also part of the money would, because we know we're going to have custodians and law enforcement, and part of the money would go to that as well. So there.
So, Lenny, what's the amount? Did she have an amount? It seemed like, did she,
Yeah,
like
it was.
$1,500? Is that what it was?
$1,500.
Okay.
Can I make,
That's
Yes,
what Jill
please.
asked for.
Yeah.
make a motion to provide $1,500 for the Mill River 50-year celebration?
I'll second.
Kim second, okay?
Yeah.
Any discussion?
I'm going to recuse myself just because.
I think, first off, I think Len's wrong to recuse himself
I do
because he's
too.
got all this information and
Yeah.
it'd be wonderful to hear more from him. But I almost think and I don't know who on finance is here, but if we can find the money available, that we should not see this as we're gifting this. This is an investment.
Right.
I'm thinking, I'm moved by Mrs. Simonetti's presentation and just thinking, how do we build community? We build community by treating people as if they're welcome and having putting some skin in the game, I think. So I'm in favor of, again, assuming people on finance can tell us that there is money available, that investing this sort of thing, and I think it's going to pay back dividends in just goodwill and booster club support and everything else that'll come from building that sort of community.
Ned, did you have something?
If I may.
I'm on finance committee, that's all.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Len.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No worries.
A couple of things that have been kind of interesting. Evidently, there is a time capsule somewhere on school property. It was buried many years ago. And we're trying to find out where that might be.
Hopefully it's not under the addition
The sinkhole.
I have no
Or on
idea.
the
No,
field.
it's not under the addition.
or on the field.
It might have been, but it's gone now if it was. So what brings me to the next point that I wanted to make, and talking to what Rich is saying, we're hoping to have the students at Mill River today put together another time capsule that we can bury and make sure we mark where the location is. And hopefully, here's the plan. We can find the old one, dig it up, open it up, and then put the new one in with that one and rebury it. I don't want to give any hints as to where the old one might be, but there is a sign out front that says Mill River Union High School. Anyways, if somebody's got a metal, but I mean, that's one of the things, Rich, that we're talking about to bring in the old with the new, and get the students, and we're talking about them doing some of the tours and those kinds of things, to get them involved in it as well.
Okay. Thank you, Lynn. Gray?
Yeah, hi, I just would like to offer a brief comment in support of the motion. I think it's a relatively small amount of money that is a worthwhile expenditure that could produce, first of all, it supports the 50th anniversary, which is a laudable goal on its own, but has a long-term potential of keeping people involved in the community and thinking about the school. And I just want to say I think it's a good idea.
Okay. Anybody else want to?
And one last comment, if I may.
Yes.
The members of the community are also going out to ask for donations from other businesses within the community as well. So it's not like we're just asking the board. We're going to go out. And I remind folks that we received over $800 in donations in order to do the full page ad back in October or whenever it was. So what we're trying to do, and Tracy's working with Stan, we need to make sure that we're legit in terms of setting up a fund so that we're not, there's no, I don't know, there's no conflict between the school and this committee kind of thing, I guess, if that's clear as mud.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sarah? Oh, unmute.
Sorry about that. Len, if somebody wanted to, a business wanted to donate some, either product or money, who would they contact?
Yeah, good question. And part of that is what we're working at. If you want to, the money donation piece, you can just send it to Mill River Unified Union High School District, Mill River Unified Union School District, sorry, and notate on the bottom 50. In terms of goods and things, the best person to go to at this point would be Jill Colvin. And again, we're meeting again tomorrow night, just so folks know. So as we meet again, to make those connections, Sarah, so that Jill, you'll be able to access Jill's email or Facebook page or whatever it may be. There's also, the 50th has a email on the Mill River High School front up on the top, up on the top right-hand corner. It says 50th. You can access t-shirts, sweatshirts. You can also, there's an email. You can also access and put in what you want, whether you're planning on attending or not. And there's also going to be something there that speaks to donations. The other thing is, and it's not on there yet, but if you go to PEG TV on their YouTube, Tommy Leopold, he's a tremendous guy. He's a stand-up comedian. He's from Danby, and a lot of his jokes are aimed at Danby, but he can get away with it because he's from Danby. But he works at PEG TV, and PEG TV has compiled a ton of old graduation videos, athletic videos, basketball, football, all of them. And they're all there, and you can actually go there. If you go on PEG TV and go to YouTube, he's got tons of it. And we're hoping to put more on, and one of the things we want to do the day of the celebration is to hook up a loop in the cafeteria so that people can watch that kind of stuff. So Sarah, that probably doesn't answer your question specifically at this point, but I hope to have more information after tomorrow night.
Great, thank you. I mean, what I was thinking is there's a couple businesses that might be interested in donating product, you know, in exchange for some, you know, a banner or some sort of acknowledgement.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
And that's in our plans as well.
Perfect.
Move to call the question?
Okay. Any objection to calling the question? Okay, all in favor? 3, 4, 5. Okay. Gray, I can't see your hand or your face.
I'm going to recuse myself.
Okay. All right. Unanimous, 1 recusal. Lenny recused, everybody else voted yes. Okay.
And I will say, and for the committee, thank you tremendously.
Yeah, thank you, Lynn. You're
still
putting
need
a
to-
lot of time in for us, and we appreciate your representation.
We still
On
need
that
to vote.
I did. I said all in favor.
Oh, I thought we were voting on calling the question.
There was no objection, so,
Very good.
all right. So you
Favor.
vote, do you vote on?
I vote in
okay
favor,
on-
absolutely, yes.
All right.
Sorry.
Okay, Addie.
Hi.
Hi, Addie.
I hope you all are doing well, and I'm very excited to be back. And I'm just gonna jump right in. I wanted to start with positive things. For the very start, this Monday we had the Future Fest job fair, and I thought it was very successful and very interesting. I got cards from people, and it was overall just a really good experience. I heard many students talking about how they enjoyed it, and I'm sure the forms for student feedback from the fair will also be very helpful in guiding as a guide to plan future events. Continuing with positives, sports-wise, spring sports are starting well. Sports photos were taken and teams have full rosters. They're working well, and we've had wins this week. The softball team won, and
Saw that.
musically, marching band season has started, and we'll be participating, I believe, in the Loyalty Day parade soon. And our new band members seem to be excited about that, as well as preparing for our Memorial Day parades and our 50th anniversary parade, as we just talked about. So that was all the positives and the great things about what is happening recently that I wanted to talk about. So now I wanted to transition a little bit more into some of the things I've done. I was able to take part in the Student Voice webinar as a panelist, answer public questions about this process as being a student representative, and encourage other boards to move forward with Student Voice. The meeting took place yesterday from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. on Zoom, and I had a great chance to list my experience and learn about other boards and how they worked with their student reps. We talked about surveys, job descriptions, and advice for new members and boards to elevate and include student voice. And I know there has been a topic here about voting, and that was brought up, and I'd love to start attending more meetings for the full length and step up my involvement and continuously help the board in their decisions. One of my ideas that I wanted to share was starting up my own surveys for continued student body involvement in the board's decisions as time goes on, to help give a even more well-rounded answer to the board than just my perspective. I feel that this would be a great contributor, and I welcome your feedback on this idea. And now I wanted to ask you a question. I would love to know a little bit more about how you think I'm doing as my voice and my contribution, and if there's anything else you would like me to speak on and contribute more information about, and like how you would want me to interact, and what things you would like me to give my input and information on, just kind of furthering and taking that next step. So, if right now, if anyone wanted to, I have my notes app open.
Anybody want to start? Maybe we'll let each member give a little feedback. I think that would be helpful. All right, Kim, you want to start?
I mean, I think you're doing great, and I'm just impressed by, like, the million things you are doing, and the fact that you are saying you want to be here for the full length and you want to participate as much as you can, I think that's really exciting. I'm just wondering about if there's a way to have more than just you, so that you don't have to have the weight of attending every meeting. That might make it easier for other students too. Yeah.
We've talked about that, and I feel like that would be great as well.
I guess I'm very happy with the job you're doing. I think you represent a nice opportunity for students to have their voice heard by us. So I'd love to, maybe as a board, look at how we could develop maybe a set of questions or prompts that are relevant to what we're talking about, where maybe you can help facilitate getting feedback from your peers on those issues. I feel like there's sometimes a disconnection between what's happening in the day-to-day running of the school and what we maybe think is happening. And obviously we have administration things, but you're here, and I think we could take advantage of that connection.
Yeah,
More
I
than we
completely
are.
agree.
Want me to go? So, well, first of all, if you weren't able to listen to the webinar, if you registered, you will get a copy of it. So, and also it's probably, I will get a copy, I will mail it out to you. I just want to say Addie was a great participant. The facilitator was so glad that she stepped up. And it was, and I think Addie and I both learned a lot. And just what David was saying, that having her as a participant and not just they use the word cheerleader, you know, that's important. We need to hear that. But really to have her more as a participant involved in discussion, and even we can, if we choose, have her have a non-binding vote on the board. So there's a whole bunch of things that we've talked about meeting, and the other is developing our roles and responsibilities, like you were saying, getting another person, but what are they getting into? We don't even know. So anyway, just those, yeah, Addie and I have talked about that, but I just wanted the board to know that we're making baby steps towards, I guess, what's the word I want to use? Formalizing the role of the student rep.
Adding with that, I know in the meeting we talked about possibly, like, some boards had an advisory vote where they would ask the student representative how they would vote, and that answer would help their decision.
yes.
But I wouldn't be so direct. because
Right.
You guys are
Yeah,
elected to the board.
Was it before, it was before we took our vote, then the student would give an advisory vote, like, I think you guys should vote this way, and this is why, so, yeah, it was really interesting, and I just want to say one more thing, that, and I think it was Colchester was the school, I'm not sure which school district, when the board was putting out information about their budget, to pass the budget, the student rep did a video that was sent out on why the community should support the budget. So it was really, it was just really interesting how involved these student reps were in their boards, so. Okay, Nick?
I think all these ideas are great. I want to, foster the empowering of the student voice to the school board as much as we can, whether that's as a voting member, as a conduit for that communication between the board and the student body. I just worry you're taking on too many things.
Yeah, I know.
That's coming from somebody who takes on too many things all the time, so I can't lecture you.
Yeah.
I'll say, I appreciate your positivity, but I think I'm saying somewhat the same thing Carol was saying, but just this idea of, you have a perspective we lack, we can't even possibly have. We can learn about the soccer team and the victories and the accolades. They're in all the principal reports and this and that. We can't learn about what's happening at lunch. What's happening, what sort of reaction behind the scenes to cell phone policy or new policies. to what extent is bullying happening? To what extent are the computers that are meant as learning tools used for things that aren't conducive to learning? These sorts of things, and it's so, what I'm asking is incredibly difficult, speaking truth to power, coming in, and it's not being, it's being a voice and an advocate, not the hall monitor necessarily, but to bring the sort of concerns that the board and more importantly, our job is to hold the superintendent accountable, that the superintendent should be working on. And if this is the only voice into the administration, I think that's a sad thing, but it's a start, and it's a huge responsibility.
That's where the surveys come in handy. Yeah, one student talked about how they did a weekly survey for presentation to the board. And another student talked about how they advocated against cutting a position in the budget. So
I had a faculty meeting at the same time as that, and I think I used my time poorly. I should have been at your meeting.
Yeah.
I regret it. Regret it now.
Well, you can watch it.
I have it, yes.
Matt?
So I'm new to the board here. I think Rich really nailed it on the head. I don't think I could outdo what he said. I think he covered it really well. Having kids in the district, I think it's great having that perspective. So I look forward to working with you, and don't ever lose your spark and passion, because it's very clear. So.
You?
Len? Lenny? Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay.
And I would encourage us as a board to look into even expanding the roles in terms of, and I didn't hear all of the conversation, I apologize. But expanding the roles so it's not, we don't have to depend upon one individual, as good as they may be, to provide us with input. And so, I still would like to see somehow the middle school represented, and also a representative succession, so that folks, aren't just there 1 year or 2 years, but again, we had talked about a senior and then a junior, so the next year you've got a senior and then you elect a junior, or whatever the case may be. But I just think the more we can expand it, the more input we're going to get, and the more broad-based our input is.
Gray? Sarah or Gray?
Did you ask me a question?
Yeah, would you like to give some feedback to Addie?
Sorry, technology's driving me crazy. Did you ask me a question?
Yeah, would you like to give some feedback to Addie about the student rep role?
I think that expanding the student rep to involve several people is a good idea, so that it's not a burden. And beyond that, I'm not really sure I have much to add to that.
Okay.
I have mixed feelings about making the student rep a voting member of the board.
Okay.
So I guess that's where I stand. I'm not persuaded one way or the other on that second question.
Right, we need more info on that, probably. Okay, Sarah? Unmute.
I'm unmuted now. I don't have a lot of feedback. I do have a thought, and this was discussed before, I wonder if any progress was made on it, about offering either class credits or some sort of actual tangible reward for people who participate as student reps. And I'm not sure how they work, maybe through their social studies classes, but maybe they, I don't know, get to not do a certain assignment, or it's in lieu of an assignment as a reward.
Right. Yeah, we did talk about that, because there is they need a credit of civics.
0.5 civics
Oh,
credit.
0.5 civics credit, which seems like it would be a natural fit. So Yeah, well, thank you, guys. Addie and I are going to be meeting, well, we thought next week, and then we realized that it was break, so now we have to decide. And then we're going to try and develop the roles, responsibilities, and a recruitment process. And then we're going to go to, I think, both the advisors, student council and leadership, or, yeah, student leadership team, and do some presenting. So there's a plan, and there is a plan to have a second member so that we can have a transition and a mentoring piece of it. So pretty excited about it. All right. Anything else for Addie? Thank you so much. And please speak up on anything else that we're going to discuss.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you.
All right.
Could I add a thought?
Yes,
I think
please.
if we are going to do this, though, we also have to make sure our agendas align with what we're asking her possibly to do.
Right.
Like, much of this agenda right now is irrelevant to student contribution as to what's going on in Mill River. So I think we as a board need to be cognizant of the fact that if we're going to ask Addie to prepare these surveys and things, we have to make sure our agenda incorporates that and looks
Right.
at those issues that may arise
Right.
as part of like our focus as well.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, it's just window dressing.
Right. And that's what we're trying to get away from.
Right.
Okay. So perfect. When we meet, I could send, oh, you're probably at work. I was going to say, I could send you when we're going to meet. One of them's after school, though. And you know, because one of the other things, not to belabor this, beat it, but I'm very excited about it, is to have a board mentor who works with the student to, like you said, make sure the agenda is relevant, that they have their concerns. But we're going to do the superintendent's report now. We're going to talk about the field at Mill River. She certainly must have input for that if she wants. So, yeah, I think everything can be somewhat relevant. And that's where I think we broaden our thinking about what the student rep, what their role is. So, but thank you. I think that's a good point.
I would push back and say we have to be proactive about it.
Right.
Not so much finding a way to make what we have planned relevant. We have to purposely make it relevant.
Right.
That would be what
Okay.
I was trying to say.
Yeah. No, yeah, no, that's good. Okay.
Okay, I'm up. I hope you guys get the chance to read what I wrote, and I'm just going to highlight a few things. But we did, a few weeks ago, I don't remember, time goes by so fast, we did have an informational meeting for anyone interested in what was going on with our main field. We're not calling it the football field, because it's not a football field. It's our main athletic field. And it was actually a very good meeting. There was lots of give and take, back and forth. Matt, you were there, so feel free to jump in. Essentially, Tim shared the plan that we have right now. We talked about what we can do and what we cannot do. I've taken the stance, after doing some research, that we cannot use any sort of fertilizer on it. The state says, sure, do whatever you want. But if it turns up that you have something like, say, high nitrates, then you're not going to be able to, you need 3 clean tests before you can use that again, which could create me closing a school for 3 months. I don't think that would go over well, because we wouldn't have clean water. So it's because it's our well that's underneath there. We're confident, though, that weather permitting, we should be able to have a good field. We talked about short-term. There was actually some parents that wanted to move the press box back. I know Tim is checking on that to see if that's something that's simple enough that we could do to give them a little bit more space. We've also said once we do this, then maybe we're looking at a long-term solution. A lot of our parents seem to want significant improvements, and that's not something that we can do overnight. But at this time, we've been notified that the field work's starting next week on break. weather permitting, so I'm really hopeful. They will never guarantee us that the field will be ready, because they're not going to make that promise, but we do believe that it will be ready. The next thing I want to talk about, I'm really excited, and I'm like really proud of Chance. I'm kind of bummed that I didn't think of it, but I'm so impressed that he did. So we've been talking transportation, right? I've racked my brain, I've talked to everyone, I've reached out to even the city bus in Rutland City, they can't do it. Chance comes to me one day and says, hey, so I'm thinking, I wonder if I can call Betcha and just ask them that if we could call them in a way, like as an on-call thing, and we would pay them. He says, do you mind if I call? I'm like, oh, go for it. Guess what? We have, without having a contract, yeah, like, good job, Chance. That was, so, Betcha said to us, if we know that we're gonna be short a driver for any reason, that we can reach out to them. It would be mostly sports, right? That we could reach out to them, and as long as they have a driver, they will charge us, of course, but they will absolutely, they will absolutely help us, and they will, but we, and she's pointing this out, it's very clear, like, our drivers, our first priority is to use our own drivers. Yeah. This is only in the event, like, there's a few events where we've had students that have had to leave school really early so that the drivers could come back and forth. So I'm actually really happy about that.
So this was a chance encounter.
This was a chance encounter, yes. If you see him, give him a congratulations. That was really, and I'm a big believer that we put all our brains together and then people come up with different things. And I had kind of decided, like, okay, I've done everything I can do for the buses, and then I was thinking, I'm like, that's great. So we have that in place. The next thing I want to talk about is our principal search narrowed down to 2 finalists. And I hope that by Friday, I'm able to make an offer to one of the 2 candidates and then bring them to you guys our next meeting. We had one in today, and I do want to say, because we've been talking about students, we did have student voice on our committee, which I think is really important. We had 2 high school students who sat in on the committee, and even today, when we're doing site visits, we had 2 students showing them around the school, as well as asking questions. So that's a positive thing. And the other thing I'm really excited about is an academic thing, and that is some of our students won first place at Vermont's History Day this past Saturday. 8th graders Lane, I'm going to pronounce Macias, good, that's not what I was going to say, Ellie Ruck and Lily Williams, they won first place at this year's Vermont History Day. They go to the Nationals in June, so this is very exciting. And I'm really pleased to share that. Any questions, comments, anything? There's a few other things that you can read, an update on Tinmouth, and then just what our leadership team has done the past few times.
I have one question about the field, but I don't know, is this like the time for it? So like a lot of the community feedback, aside from like fertilizer and stuff like that, was centrally locating the wells so that the other fields could get irrigated too. Are we able to move the well, or is it still going to be by the press box?
I don't know yet,
right.
But Tim did reach out to them to see if we could move it over a bit.
All right, just because like that seemed to be a big concern at that meeting.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Hey, anybody, go ahead.
I just had a quick question too about the, oh my goodness, the position for fields maintaining.
Yes.
I'm losing my words, but.
I know what you're meaning.
Yeah. Okay.
We do have, Tim does have one applicant that is likely to work out.
Oh, okay.
Someone he knows, so he's on vacation this week, but I believe he'll be interviewing next week.
Okay, thanks.
Norm has a,
Norm, 1 minute, we allow 1 minute, go.
When you're talking about these awards, I know students from Mill River participated in a National Skills Challenge at Stafford Technical Center, and you had winners at Mill River. Don't know if they passed any information down to you, but you had kids that won first, second, and third place. So, I don't know, maybe it's a lack of communication from them down to the school district, but I do know that one of them was my grandson, and he came in proud as could be with his medal after the machine they were using broke the bit that they were routing with. So I do know that there's another aspect of competition that didn't get recognized here. That maybe somebody should reach out to Stafford and get a list.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Congratulations, you're amazing.
Okay,
Okay,
are you all set?
I am all set, thank you.
Anybody else have any questions or, okay. Retreat planning. Thank you to everybody who took the survey, counting me. There were 9 of us, so 2 of, and Matt talked to me, and I don't know who else didn't. But based on that, let me get my scrap paper. Oh no, where'd it go? It sounds like a combination of training and facilitation was the most preferred idea. And the facilitation part, last year, it was Cheryl and I was a new board chair, Cheryl was a new superintendent, and it really, it was hard to facilitate and participate. So, so I think I've reached out to Debbie Singheiser, who is the person from VSBA who does this work. And so after we kind of have a little discussion here, I'll present my thoughts, and then I appreciate everybody's feedback. I am going to see what she can do in terms of training and facilitation in a 3-hour block. We were pretty consistent. Most people said 9 to 12 during July and August, so I'm going to try and get like 2 dates from her, 2 or 3 dates. She's not booked up yet, but she does book up, and then put those out there and see which ones hopefully work for everybody, but you know, I know everybody's traveling in the summer. As far as training, the areas that got the most interest were communications on social media and roles and responsibilities and policy governance, those 3. I know policy governance is actually a very involved process, but we could get a little introduction to it to see if the board is interested in pursuing that more. As far as facilitation, facilitating our goals, work on our goals, budget development, priorities, and annual work planning were the 3 that people seem most interested in. There was several people who were asking about legislative updates, and I was thinking that we might be able to get one of our representatives to come and talk to us. If we did a 9 to 12 training facilitation, and then a 12 to 1, we could eat and have a more informal conversation as board members. So those are my ideas. What do you think?
Of course, the legislature will be out of session by then and not close enough to the next session that we know what kind of the...
Well, maybe they can tell us what they did.
Yeah, sure.
Or what was decided and what we should think about. I think everything's going to get vetoed, but that's a whole other story. Gray, you're on.
I would put it a bit, I liked everything that you were talking about, Carol, but put it in bits to try to have it end by noon, And if that means starting at 8 o'clock, personally, I'm an early morning person, so I don't have a problem being there at 8. But I have other obligations beginning at noon every Saturday, so if it's possible.
Okay.
that'd be a good thing for me.
I'll put it out to the group as part of when we do the dates.
That's fine. That's
Okay,
fine.
perfect.
I guess I just had a question. You were talking about a 2-day event, like Saturday, Sunday, or
No,
just
just one day, 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours.
So like Saturday, probably?
Yeah, Saturday.
Right.
Yeah, so I had put out, one option was to do it like before a board meeting, but
Right.
I think only one person thought that was a good idea. And, I don't know who that was, but everybody thought a Saturday morning worked the best
Right.
during July and August, so
Well, no, I
it's-
think that's great. I work full-time and then some, and then church on Sunday, so Saturday's a good day.
Saturday, oh, well. We'll try to make it worth your while.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Ned or
Yeah.
Len? Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to support Gray with that 8 o'clock in the morning is fine by me.
Okay, well, I'll put it out there, and that's okay. I mean, summer, daytime, daylight starts at like 4, so I guess, yeah. It's not like the winter where it's still dark at 8. Yeah, okay. I'll put it down for 8 or 9, and you guys can all pick. And, David, anything? No? Okay, everybody? So I will continue, I will contact Debbie tomorrow and see what we can figure out, and then I'll let y'all know. I'll probably just email you the information rather than, and then at the next board meeting, we can just touch base. That works for everybody. Okay. That's it for retreat. Okay, committee reports. Personnel? Len?
Hi there. Yes, that would be me. Our next meeting is, I believe, May 5th.
Yes, that's our board meeting.
Is that right?
I think you might be right. Well, I thought the 5th was a Friday. I might be wrong.
May 5th is a Tuesday.
I don't have a calendar.
May 6th. It's the 6th.
May 6th, Lenny.
May 6th?
Yes.
Okay, so the next personnel committee meeting will be May 6th at 6 o'clock. And that's it.
Okay. Policy, Rich?
Policy Committee met last night. We'll be bringing to the board a number of first reads. I think there were three policies that we're bringing forward. For first read, sorry, my notes, there it is. We went over our charge through the bylaws yesterday, and then addressed some policy changes that we want to do in our continuing looking over the policies that we have. Just kind of using the VSBA as our guide. I just did a count on all of the VSBA's recommended policies and required policies. It totals 53 policies altogether. We have 97 on our books here. So I think one of the things as we go through these policies is looking at the necessity of various policies as we go through. We'll keep doing the updates, bringing them to the board, so hopefully 3 policies or so a meeting until we call these and have it right size for our school district. If Len was itching for the 5th, we do have a policy meeting on the 5th, so Len, you're still booked for that day. That'll be our next meeting, and...
No, we're the 12th.
We're the 12th?
Second Tuesday, sorry.
Yes, we are, in fact. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Can I just say that we are May 12th, next meeting? The 5th is free for you again, Len. And that is all I have. Unless am I missing anything else? No. Okay, very good.
Okay, building and grounds, I don't think we have a committee report. We
Not
haven't met.
We haven't met since the last board meeting.
And our next
And our
one
next
is
scheduled meeting is
April 29th.
Monday, April 27th at 5 PM.
Yeah, okay. Community engagement,
Yes, so we were supposed to have a community engagement reorg meeting earlier this evening. It didn't happen for a few reasons. But actually, I think it would be good if we could have a very brief community engagement meeting sometime soon, maybe next week, even if it can be done remotely, just so we can get the reorg done and get started with that. So I was going to propose perhaps Monday or Tuesday meeting. It can be all remote,
no, it cannot,
if that works for the other.
Sarah, it cannot be all remote.
Monday or Tuesday at
Sorry.
5 o'clock.
I'm sorry, hon. I'm sorry, it cannot be all remote. You need to have at least one person on site, but that can be done.
Does anybody have any feelings about that?
Next week is,
We have no school next
Yeah,
week?
next week is break, so that would be a hard week for people. So, let me think. So the week after that, we would
Try
have,
that now, I couldn't hear for a minute.
next week is break, so Cheryl will not be here. So she has to open the meeting. Can you
Sorry
hear?
about that. Could somebody do it? Would it work to do that on Tuesday, maybe at 5 o'clock? Would that work for people?
Next week?
Yes.
No, because it's break.
Oh, it's break. So the week after would be better.
Right.
Yeah.
And the week after, what's?
Tuesday, the 28th.
And I believe I already have a meeting.
All right, let's see.
How about Tuesday the following week?
All right, we're looking at our calendars here.
Okay.
I can do next Tuesday, the 28th, if it's at 5, because I have a 6 to 7 meeting.
I think that would be fine with me.
Who else is on that committee? Does that work?
Oh, I missed the time.
Tuesday, the 28th
At 5.
at 5 o'clock.
I'll be late, but I'll be either late or remote, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I mean, as long as one person's on site, you're okay.
I can do it.
You can do, okay, because Jody just said she could do it at 6:30.
Okay,
needed.
so
But-
we're gonna, Shani, we're gonna send a invitation for community engagement, Tuesday, April 28th at 5,
At 5 PM.
okay?
That sounds perfect.
All right, thank you. Okay, superintendent's evaluation meeting, we have a meeting in May, I believe it's like
it's May 12th.
May
at 5.
12th, so I have nothing to report. Negotiations,
Is the Monday,
The 27th.
the 27th, thank you.
oh, right.
We have quite a few that.
Yeah, we have like 3 lined up in a
Yeah.
row, I think, so.
April 27th at 6, from 6 to 7.
April 22nd.
27th.
Monday, the 27th.
Thank you.
All right, pay orders. I don't think we have a finance meeting till the end of May, so there's no report there.
Actually, it's June 1st.
June 1st, beginning of June. Okay, payroll warrants. Total of $667,412.44. Motion, I make a motion to approve the pay order. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
David, any discussion? Okay, all in favor? Oh, sorry, I didn't ask if anybody objected, but there was no discussion, so. Okay, any opposed? Okay, accounts payable, $539,276.13. And student activity, $6,755.02. Motion to approve the pay warrants. Okay, Ned? Second?
I'll second.
Okay. It's either Gray or David, whichever one you saw. Okay, any discussion? Okay. Any objection to calling the question? All in favor? Okay. Transact other legal business. Anybody have anything that they want to bring forward? It seems like I had something and now I
Just thank Shrewsbury for hosting us today.
Thank you, Thank you, Kristen, for hosting us. It was great to see the playground. I still remember the slide of death.
I've never been here, so it's great.
I know, the kids loved it.
Yeah.
Kids loved it.
Literally just moved them.
Okay, agenda building. Oh, I haven't put anything down. What
I
do you
have
got?
some stuff. So two things that I think would be appropriate, to invite the director of after-school programming, and also to invite our athletic director to give a sports update.
Okay.
Len has something?
Yes, Len? Go ahead, Len.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Oh, sorry.
First of all, thanks for getting the water bottles for us and for the teachers. I appreciate that.
Oh, yeah, I was good. That's
That worked for us. Thank you very much.
That's what I wanted to share.
Two other things. This isn't for agenda building. I was hoping to get under other legal business.
We'll let you go. Go for it.
I think at some point, based on the conversations that we had in the Personnel Committee, at some point, we're going to want to look at the bylaws to either change or update them. It's not, I'm not talking about a huge thing, but if we're going to change the roles and responsibilities of the committee, which is fine, because it should be adjusted as we go along, then that also needs to be changed in the bylaws.
Right.
That's all.
Yeah, so,
I'm not saying it needs to be done tomorrow.
no, I know. So I think the way it was done, because we changed the community engagement roles and responsibilities in the bylaws, I think you, maybe in the Personnel Committee, I think we talked about it at the last Personnel Committee about what the change is. You just present it to the board, and then we vote on it, and then there's like a 1 week or 2 week waiting period for comment, and then we vote on it. So it's really a relatively simple process. It's just like a two-step, and there's a time. But
So.
it says right in the bylaws.
I'm sorry. What I'm saying is, so if we follow that process, then whatever changes are made is brought to the board,
Yeah,
and then the board
approves it.
them or disapproves it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So
That's fine.
so at the next Personnel Committee, you guys can, finalize what you want, what the change is, bring it to the full board, and then I think there's a week or something. It's in the bylaws, I don't have it off the top of my head, but it's something.
We need
Yeah, it
5
has to be
days
forward
advance.
for-
5 days advance, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so I think, all right. Gray? Yeah? Oh, you're muted. Now you're,
Yeah, no, my thumb was ahead of my mouth. I am unmuted now. Yes, I'd like to put on the agenda for the next meeting, a discussion about the possibilities and desirability of encouraging eligible students, mostly seniors, but encouraging eligible students as part of their, whether it's their ethics or their social studies, or governmental or history studies, and that require us, but encouraging students to register to vote. So I'd like to put that on the agenda as a discussion item for the board to begin to explore the possibilities of how we might make that happen. Like, what's the best way to do that?
Yes, that's what we're doing.
I'm not sure how best to bring this up. I love to hear about the awesome things happening in all of our schools, but I look back at some of the presentations I've been able to hear from our administrators, and I feel like one of the things that always pops out is what feels like a level of inequity across our four elementary schools. And I the demographics of Tinmouth, Shrewsbury, Wallingford, and Clarendon are not the same. The school populations are not the same. Test results are not the same. Truancy is not the same. And I feel like I hear all these amazing things that happen in some schools, but aren't happening in others. I look at proficiency in some schools that is markedly higher than others. And I would like to sort of have that difficult conversation of looking at how we can try and create a more level or common experience beyond just the curriculum in our schools. I know that looking at the quality of the food that's served in our schools is a step in the right direction, but I think there's a larger conversation here that we need to sort of start having. And I feel like if I'm representing Wallingford, I can't help but look at what's offered in other schools and wonder why it's not in Wallingford or Clarendon, yet it is maybe here in this building. So I guess it's difficult, but I think it's a conversation that we as a board should start having.
Does anybody have, I do have a response, but I want to give other people a chance to respond. I think that, David, I think what you're seeing, and Lenny, you've been around long enough, and the rest of you, maybe not, Kristen might know this, but when the district first formed, if you look at what this, what do you call it, the strategic plan was, it was to offer elementary schools with different focuses. So that's how Shrewsbury became the sustainability, and Tinmouth became outdoor education, and Wallingford had a certain emphasis, and
It was proficiency leveling.
proficiency leveling, and Clarendon had. So all I'm saying is that kind of drove where we are now. But I agree with you, it hasn't been looked at. One thing Cheryl is doing right now is a continuous improvement plan, which is how you come to exactly what you're talking about. Where's the equity, or where? So I think one thing you might want to do is jump in on the continuous improvement plan meeting, which is
The 28th at 6 o'clock.
28th at 6 o'clock.
You are welcome to join us. We're going to go over, I'm sorry, Carol, I just
No,
interrupted
go,
you.
please.
But we're going to go over the surveys, and I'm going to try to organize it in a way that's manageable for people to look at, and then what should our focus be, right? I personally think, this is just Cheryl speaking, not the committee. I think a big part we need to start focusing on is academics, right? We do a lot of other things, and I really like that we do sports and we do music and all that. I feel like academics has to be where we go, teaching and learning. How are we improving? What's our level of rigor in each classroom? Are we student-centered, or are we still doing, primarily direct instruction with the teacher talking? Those are things that are close to my heart, but we'll see what the community put out there.
Yeah.
And I can try to give more. That's a good note for me to direct my ideas
awesome.
on.
Yeah, the survey. Does that Do you think that helps address what you're, I mean, yeah, we can talk,
I mean-
we can have a discussion as a board, but,
I think it would depend, again, on the questions that were asked of the community. I
right,
think that one of the things that underpins successful education is the other things that you're talking about, like
course.
sports and things like
And
that.
I think those are important.
And I think that in a primary level, if you're trying to build proficiency, things like Ms. Simonetti pointed out, like buddy readers, for example. I know that used to happen in Wallingford. I don't know if it is anymore.
Still does.
Okay, good. But again, like a garden, like other pro-social activities, if we find that, statistics bear out that being outside more and having more outdoor programming improves academic outcomes and lowers behavior instances, then that's something that should be applied across all the primary schools. I think that looking at what works where it's working and taking those models and spreading them across all 4 primary schools is a way to approach that. I don't know whether or not the surveys were crafted with that perspective in mind. So, and I also know that, when this combined district was created, there were certain parameters around how do we justify keeping 4 buildings, et cetera. And the way to do that was to create 2 mountain schools and 2 core schools. I think it is a little telling that we know the 2 mountain campuses are mountain campuses, but we people struggled to recall what the emphasis for Clarendon and Wallingford were.
yeah,
I think
Good
that
point.
kind of speaks to how we've focused perhaps on, as a district, on how we've implemented different aspects of what we do in our combined unified district. And I think we need to, like I said, perhaps at the board level, proactively look at, and maybe critically, how we're implementing programming across our primary schools.
right. One thing I do want to emphasize, though, we do have elementary school choice, so,
But it's not really choice. It's not. How is my kid gonna get here? It's
We
not
would
really
transport
choice.
her.
No, the district doesn't provide busing like that.
that for school choice?
No,
Okay.
so parents have to do it.
Okay.
So it's not
I
choice.
stand
Okay.
corrected.
Hey, just a reminder, we are agenda building, not debating.
I know, I'm sorry, you're right.
Thank you.
Okay, yes, thank you. You're right.
I was just gonna say that this might be, this feels like a board retreat / like for us to think about what the board's goal and like what our role is,
Yeah,
if this is a conversation.
right, roles and response. So, you're right, and I was just trying to understand the issue. So, to see if it is something we can get on the agenda. So we will, I'll talk with Cheryl and we'll see if we can set it up as an agenda item in a way that we can discuss it as a board. Okay, any other agenda suggestions?
I hope just leading up to the 50th anniversary celebration, we just have a regular moment spot on the agenda for updates and keeping that up.
Okay. Hear that, Lenny?
You put down, I'm more than glad to speak.
Okay, thank you.
I want to offer one more thing when it comes to the 50th, which is I offer my services as a barbecue chef, if that should cover.
Extraordinaire.
I
Okay,
like that.
We may take you up on that, Greg.
Please do that. Please do.
We will. Believe me, we're looking for all the help we can get.
all right. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second, okay. Vote with your feet. Good night, everybody, thank you.